This is our last morning in Grand Baie. Nobody else is awake yet. Just her, and a pool that she has almost entirely to herself. The whole resort is still quiet around her. This exact picture of being left alone was everything we wanted when we booked this trip. But by the time this moment happened, the whole idea of this trip had quietly flipped on us. We came here to get away from people. It turned out the best part had nothing to do with getting away from anyone at all. We came to Mauritius for one reason: to celebrate her birthday away from the noise of everyone else. No work emails, no schedule, nothing waiting for us back home. Just us, an island in the Indian Ocean, and however many days we could stretch this into. Our base for it was the Veranda Grand Baie Hotel and Spa on the north coast of the island. We didn't come here to review a hotel. We came here to disappear for a few days and see what that actually felt like. We ordered welcome drinks straight from the bar, no waiting for table service. Fresh and cold. My wife has this way of putting people at ease within about 30 seconds. Check-in took minutes. No queue, no standing around with the bags, no forms asking the same question 3 different ways. While we waited for the room, we wandered the grounds a little. A small boutique near the entrance. And a quiet spot for afternoon tea they call Lou Kiosk Tea Break. Glasses lined up, fresh fruits and lemon waiting to be sliced. Small details, but you notice them when a place is actually trying. A reading corner tucked into the shade. A lounge that seems built for doing absolutely nothing at all. One thing, before this goes any further. Nobody paid for this stay. Nobody asked us to say a single kind word about any of it. The hotel didn't know we were coming. Everything you're about to see is just what happened to us, good or bad. Right here is where we met Aurore. She came over with a plate of Napolitain. It's the little pink cake Mauritians grew up on. 2 soft biscuits, jam in the middle, icing on top. A small gesture. We didn't think much of it yet. We had no idea how much that name would matter by the end of this trip. By 2:30, someone walked us to our room. And this is where the hotel plays its first real card. The path to the rooms runs straight past the pool. The room itself, honestly, better than we expected. Garden views, more space than the photos suggested, and a balcony that looks straight into the palms. She stood out there a while, arms resting on the rail, not saying much. We changed and walked down to the beach right in front of the hotel. The same seafront we'd been staring at from a distance, up close now. She had her phone out before her feet hit the sand. I can't blame her.
Whoa, hey. Sole lève la gomblée, dis-le croire comme un diamant brillait.
Grand Baie has been a resort town for decades, and you can see why they picked this exact spot. It was the first moment the trip properly felt real.
Sente doux, palmi danser dans un tissu, chaque moment un joli souvenir, Maurice faire nous les cœurs sourire.
Then we decided to walk further than we planned. There's a public beach called La Cuvette, a short walk up the coast from the hotel. And then, moments later, our first proper look at the sea. Turquoise water, boats resting at anchor, the whole bay laid out flat and calm.
Maurice monti paradis, la mer bleu ferme les gris, nous dans
The path hugs the water the whole way. Boats bobbing just off the rocks, flags snapping in the wind. Locals passing the other way with towels over their shoulders.
soleil peut briller sur la nuit, quand au vini un seul goût, tout pour en vivre vin tous les temps. Manzena mil couleurs.
Quick side note, since we've got a minute here anyway. This is the start of our full Mauritius series. 12 stops across the island. One new episode every week. If that sounds like your kind of trip, this is a good moment to hit subscribe.
Entité ou soit enzifri, tout faire les quais, voir les rires. Un sourire pas coûte rien, mais ici il y a une grande vallée. Tout dit mon croire un camarade, l'hospitalité sortie dans les quais.
La Cuvette isn't part of any resort. It's a small public beach, tucked between black volcanic rock on both sides. The kind of place locals actually use. No lounges, no staff, no thatched umbrellas. Just sand, rock, and the tide doing whatever it wants. Somehow, that made it better. There's a rawness to it the manicured hotel beaches can't copy.
Sape la Quarenzo Lizardi, Maurice, Maurice, moi bien, chaque souvenir pour rester.
She found her own spot without needing to look very hard. A stretch of sand near the rocks, half in the shade. Then she didn't hesitate. Straight into the water, almost still in her clothes. That's very her. She stops asking whether something is a good idea and just does it. The water was calm and clear enough to see her feet from the shore. A storm was building somewhere far out over the horizon. But here in Mauritius, nothing moved fast. Her birthday trip had officially started. Not at check-in, but right here, in the water, at a beach we hadn't planned to visit. We didn't rush back. Some beaches make you walk slower on the way out than you did coming in. Back at the hotel, she ordered a pina colada at the lounge. Our first proper pause of the whole day. Then the pool again, slower this time. No rush to be anywhere else, no reason to check the time. The bay behind her, boats swaying gently, everything winding down together. We stayed until the light went orange, then gray, then gone completely. Some days don't need a plan. They just need somewhere good to sit still in. This was one of them. No itinerary, no next stop to think about. Just a drink, a comfortable chair, and the sound of the water somewhere, nearby. We showered, changed, and made our way to dinner. The ground changed completely after sunset. Warm lights in the trees, the courtyard glowing, the whole place softer somehow. And at the dining hall, Aurora was already waiting to walk us to our table personally. A small thing, but it's the kind of small thing you notice and remember later. Our parents had come with us on this trip too. This was never just the two of us, and honestly, it never really is. Birthdays in this family are a group event. That's not a complaint. Dinner was a full Mauritian spread. And Mauritian food is its own story. Indian, Creole, Chinese, and French influences, all sharing one table. Right outside the dining hall, it was properly dark now. We could barely see the sea. It was quiet, empty, and peaceful. Then, without us asking, a small cake arrived at the table. Compliments of the hotel. For a second, she just looked at it. Then she started laughing. That kind of surprise is hard to fake. She wasn't even trying to. Mauritian cuisine is very unique. As I already mentioned, it is a mix of influences, all sharing one table. Because that's exactly what this island is. Curries, grilled fish, spiced vegetables, things that she could not fully name, but wanted more of. It's the kind of buffet that makes you regret filling up on the starter. We went back more than once. Nobody's counting. She ate like someone who'd earned it. A full day of walking, swimming, and sun will do exactly that to a person. And the food here gave her a proper reason to take her time. After dinner, we sat in the lounge and listened to live music. No hurry to be anywhere else on the island tonight. It felt like the kind of night you don't rush the end of. So we didn't. She's not usually a beach before coffee kind of person. But here, apparently, she made an exception. The next morning, before most of the hotel was even properly awake, she walked down to the water. No plan, no photo first. Just a straight walk into the sea, in front of a beach that was still completely empty. The water in Grand Baie stays shallow and calm a long way out, protected by the reef. Early morning is when it's at its best. Later, she had the pool completely to herself. Every lounger empty, the water untouched. So I caught some of it from above. Partly for the shot, partly because some mornings are worth having proof of, long after the trip is over. From up there, the whole of Grand Baie opens up behind her. Sailboats at anchor, palm trees leaning over the sand, water that doesn't really have a name for its color. This is the exact moment you saw at the start of this video. Now you know how we got here. It's the kind of view you forget is real until you're standing in it again. Mornings like that don't happen often when you're home and there's somewhere to be. Out here, There was nowhere to be. That's sort of the whole point of coming this far. Later, we took out one of the pedalos included with the stay. We pedaled in slow, aimless circles, going nowhere in particular. We must have looked ridiculous. Neither of us minded even slightly. Some activities aren't really about getting anywhere. They are about being on the water together with nothing else to do, and no way else to be.
Bonjour soleil levé lors la mer. Dis-le blé brille pour ma verre. La patsap nous lipi dans de l'eau. Maurice vers les.
The guy manning the sea sports desk is called Ave. We'd booked a proper boat tour for that afternoon. The kind with a glass bottom and an actual planned route around the bay. Then the sky changed. Clouds rolled in fast, the way they do on this side of the island. And the boat we'd booked got cancelled outright. But the hotel didn't just refund us and leave it there. Ave came and found us and said they could still get us out on the water. Just not on the boat we'd planned. Instead, we got a smaller boat, no set route, no schedule, and no other guests. Just the two of us, and Rolando, our boatman, who knew the bay by heart. Above us, a sky getting darker by the minute. It wasn't the tour we'd booked. Honestly, it might have been better. We passed the rocky edge of the coastline, black volcanic stone against pale sand. Nobody out here seemed particularly worried, so neither were we. 30 minutes on that water, watching Grand Baie turn moody and gray around us. The bay gets a different kind of beautiful under a storm sky. Nobody owed us that ride. The booking was cancelled, the weather was against it, and that could have been the end of it. Instead, someone decided our afternoon mattered. That's usually how the best moments on a trip work out. Not the ones you book, the ones that happen instead. We came here hoping to avoid people entirely. Somehow, the opposite turned out to matter more. It's hard to point at exactly when it happened. Somewhere between a pink cake on the first afternoon and a boat that didn't have to sail. We weren't being served anymore. We were just being looked after. There's a difference. You feel it before you can explain it. We came here to celebrate her birthday. Nobody sponsored this stay. Nobody asked us to say a single kind word about it. So when Aurora handed her this, a recipe book, Flavors of Mauritius, that was not part of any package. It was just someone who noticed we'd been here a while and decided we mattered. We came here as strangers. We are fairly certain we left as something closer to family. And that is the only kind of review that means anything.